Yes, hello tradies. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 23. We're brought to you by the great people at St Andrews Beach Brewery, their new brewery at Melbourne Park. The only place to be before a game at the G this season, which is where I will be Thursday night. Mitchell, I assume, will be working. But finally, Seven have a big game on Thursday.
How good? Well, we had one last week, but the Giants didn't rock up.
No. 24,000 people and an 80-point margin is not a big game.
It was billed as one of the games of the round, Giants and Dogs.
And it was not.
Yeah, cool. So when we talk about two shit teams that turn out to be a cracking game, do we go back and say...
Well, I'm just saying, I was at Toorak Park on Saturday and there were more people there than there were at Marvel on Thursday night, so you can't call it a big game.
Well, so you come in off the top whacking 7. I was going to congratulate you on your Logie win. So I wanted to start in a positive mood on the show today. So anyway, I'm gonna forget what you just said and congratulate you on being a Logie winner back on Sunday night. I was sitting on the couch watching the coverage on 7 and thought of you when 9 was announced as the Olympics as the best sporting coverage for the year.
So firstly, didn't know the Logies were on until the Monday. Secondly, about 10 seconds before we went on air yesterday for Footy Classified, Lloydie said something along the lines of, no, in fact it was Damo. Well done on the Logie. What are you talking about? He said 9-1 for Olympics coverage. So I don't know if...
Maybe they were meaning 9 and not Gem.
Oh, there it is. That's so nasty. No. Let me do it to myself.
It was there.
Yeah, I know. I bowled it outside off. Obviously the Gem 2 a.m. till 6 a.m. coverage didn't quite necessitate an invite to the Logies. Because, of course, I would have made a very humble, speech.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Didn't get the invite up.
Didn't. As I said, I honestly didn't know they were on until Monday.
Speaking of invites, have you got a cashy this weekend?
Have I got a cashy this weekend?
Down Gippsland Way?
No.
Oh, someone told me that you were appearing at the Warrigal Footy Club.
You've been handed the wrong information. Unless someone has promised them that I'm going and it hasn't reached my desk.
Maybe for those at Warrigal, you won't be getting Sam unless you can do some negotiating in the next 3 or 4 days. I got a message last night from someone in the football, someone, I'm not going to say their name, but someone who works in the football industry.
I'll always be honest with you. My left hand on my heart, that's the first I've heard of that.
Okay. Well, someone's been promised something they're not getting.
So if I'm on some advertising board somewhere hosting an event, can someone please let me know? Because I am actually available this weekend.
Hawthorn Collingwood will be big, won't it?
Hope so. I very much hope for you and Channel 7 that you don't get another shocking game. I've been barracking for you.
Be good if the Giants had rocked up last week.
Can I, just on this before we get to trade. So I've been having some fun with the fixture this year because it's been a cataclysmic disaster, and 7 unfortunately have bear the brunt of it. With Thursday nights have been awful. This week, just having a quick look at Fox's Super Saturday. So this is round 22, of course. Let's have a look. Okay, so Saturday at 1:20, we start off with the blockbuster that is Richmond against St Kilda. Can't wait for that one. Brisbane then take on the hapless Sydney Swans in the 4:15 game.
If the Swans rock up...
Now here's where it gets really good. Carlton Gold Coast at Damien Hardwick's favourite venue, Marvel Stadium, the Saturday night game, and Port Adelaide Freo. So they couldn't possibly stick with Super Saturday for this week.
I know you're
snooze Saturday, sleepy Saturday, switch off Saturday, watch anything else Saturday.
I know you're a glass half empty guy, but those 2 Saturday night games could impact the finals.
Oh, Mitch.
If Port decided to rock up...
Honestly, I do love you deeply with my heart, but you can't...
maybe Port were keeping a few bullets in the chamber rather than rock up in Geelong on the weekend. They were thinking maybe we...
Did Port play on the weekend?
Plays. They were good for a quarter.
So the thing about Port is, I don't know when they're playing. I don't know who the coach is. Is it Hinkley? Is it Carr? It's just... Thank God they've got Chris Davies there.
Yeah.
Because without him, I think that place would be falling apart. Goodness me. Goodness gracious. Should we go straight into trade?
Get straight into it.
There's a couple of big stories that I think are going to explode. It's going to be a big trade period. So our man Sam Draper, minding his own business over the weekend.
You said he was done to Brisbane. What's happened?
So, also, can we talk about James Worpel later in the show? Well, apparently, there are reports emerging that Geelong are interested. I haven't been catching up with this. So I think Well, we'll get to where it's at, but offer on the table from Essendon, which is 4 years, I think, with a trigger for 5th. He's got 6 years at Brisbane, and there'd been talk in the industry for a couple of weeks that Adelaide was still going to come hard and late for him.
They got a 5-year offer on the table, my understanding.
Oh, okay. I don't know the offer from Adelaide.
I think it's 5.
Right. What I do know is that Matthew Nicks took it upon himself to personally call Sam Draper over the weekend.
Is this off the back of pretty much Rolly O'Brien signing? Because I said on this show last week that Rolly O'Brien can't have signed if he thought Sam Draper was still coming. Like, surely these players sniff the breeze. The players have as good an insight as anyone when it comes to who's coming and going from their footy club.
Yeah, but
so how has Rolly O'Brien signed a 3-year deal?
Well, did he have 3 years on the table from someone else?
That's a good question. Maybe not.
Yeah, so
he would have had 2-year offers from others.
Yeah, he probably would have. But it's all, at this point, it's about security. Yeah. It's about his family. Living in the same house, or routine, all that sort of stuff. Maybe he just backs himself in, to be the number one.
I've got a theory on this.
The number one ruckman.
I'll let you get to what's happened.
So Nicks calls him. It's Draper's blown away by all the things that Nick says, and my understanding is that while there's no hard and fast timeline on it, Essendon in recent days, who didn't know about this phone call by the way, have made it clear to him and his manager that they would like an answer sooner rather than later. So I anticipate that by close of business Friday, Sam Draper at least will know in his own heart where he's going to play football next year. Now, whether he tells Essendon by Friday, I'm not sure, but Essendon would like an answer sooner rather than later. I would still have Brisbane in front.
Yep.
But
not as strong as a week ago because of this phone call.
Yeah, things change. And
give me your 1, 2, 3. So Brisbane, and then who's next?
I couldn't call between Adelaide and Essendon. I honestly, I'd be. It's funny. I was going to say I'd be guessing. We're all guessing. I'd probably have him staying at Essendon the most outside chance, just because
that offer's been there for some time. He hasn't been playing, so he's had it there to think about.
Right. But also because the other 2 teams that have offered him contracts are top 4 sides who are going to be contending for premierships straight away.
Yeah.
Essendon are not. So it just becomes not as lucrative all of a sudden.
My understanding the Crows' pitch to him is we've got Rolly O'Brien, who's in pretty good form this year. Probably had one of his best seasons in some time in 2025. Come and play as more of a forward next year, Sam. And we're not going to put the pressure on you on the rehab from your Achilles. You're going to come back in. You're not going to have to ruck every week. Whereas at Essendon, you may have to. And at Brisbane, with doubts over whether Oscar McInerney goes on next year, you're going to potentially have to do that, maybe with a bit of Darcy forward as well. The other factor here, I think, is clubs are expecting or preparing for the sub to be removed and 5 on the bench, which I think would make a massive difference in playing 2 rucks. And if that is happening, and if Greg Swan is as strong as he's been in the media about it happening next year, clubs need to know now because this is going to change the complete makeup of the trade period and clubs deciding to play whether they go with 1 ruck and a ruck forward or 2 genuine rucks. I think with 5 on the bench, it opens up the Fremantle conversation as Darcy and Jackson being a proper way to win a premiership for Freo. To Hawthorn try and keep Ned Reeves with a few clubs sniffing around there and partnering up with Lloyd Meek. I think this is going to have a major impact on the trade period. There's a commission meeting later this week. If this is going to happen, they need to know now.
Well, so a couple of things. Firstly, the AFL got themselves into this bind by letting the coaches have too much power. Like, we've gone from 4 on... There were never any problems with 4 on the bench. Let's just put that on the table. Never any problems.
They got spooked by the worldwide concussion stuff. Cricket brought the concussion sub in.
Sure.
There was all this talk around concussion. That's why they jumped. Remember, it was only 2 or 3 weeks before the season.
I remember. It was like 8 days before Richmond Carlton, something like that. Let's wait for the air raid. By the way, with concussion, I'm coming off one of the longest runs I can remember.
Show back to.
I'm so angry. Anyway. So they got themselves into the bind. So I don't feel sorry for the AFL one bit. Because
not many people do feel sorry for the AFL, do they?
No, but they get a lot right, the AFL. They get a lot right. That they just got terribly wrong. And internally they acknowledge that. So they're now trying to get themselves out of a mistake by making more mistakes. The sub makes no sense. Has never made any sense. We've gone from concussion sub to injury sub to normal sub. None of it. None of the three
years
ever
ago,
made
and the
sense.
coaches wanted rid of it then.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I think it's really interesting for Greg Swan because he's been, a chief executive for a long time. He's been at Clubland for a long time. But just to your point on, they need to know now. Again, let's just remind everyone who runs the game. It's not the clubs. The AFL will decide.
But Greg Swan's biggest mandate when he came in, he goes, when I make rules around the rules of the game, they're going to know in October, November, so they can repair.
Yeah, but you're saying they need to know now about the sub.
But that's list management.
Yeah, but Mitch.
That is a fundamental change to the way clubs will line up next year.
But they're all going to find out at the same time.
Yeah.
They're all going to find out at the same time. So the clubs will use everything as an excuse. Oh, we didn't know, so we didn't get 2 rucks. It's just everyone will find out at the same time.
But there's not as much. So like Max Gawn, for example, is there as much reliance on Melbourne doing it compared to a Freo club? Different clubs will need to know more than others.
Again, everyone will find out at the same time.
So 5 years on the table from the Crows. If the sub's removed and 5 on the bench comes in, potentially Draper and O'Brien can work. I can't see it working otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, the whole pitch you just made about him playing as a forward and easing himself into. I mean, that makes no sense with their forward line currently. Makes no sense.
Or does Tex go on next year?
Did you see him play in the last quarter?
Yeah, he's good last quarter.
A grader. A grade. Hey, I don't like admitting it, but he's an A grader. Got to call as you see it.
He's not an A grader. He's a very good player.
Only A graders have last quarters in big games like that. Only A graders.
So is that why Naz got his way on, is it?
Got a lot of feedback about Naz finally getting on.
Do I talk about the clip that I was sent?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
I raised him as an A-grade potential preseason.
And you
laughed me out of the room.
I did. Yep. That's how good his year has been. Hey, we are only in life, we are only dealing with the information that we currently have at hand. I can't. Then things change.
You're allowed to forecast on this show.
Yeah, and you forecast a lot and you get a lot right. And I got that.
Some things wrong too.
I got that one wrong.
I'm going to add an obscure name onto the whiteboard.
We're adding.
A guy that not many people have thought of or spoken about for a while. His name is Will Brody.
Wow, that is not someone I've thought about in a long time.
Drafted as a top 10 pick to Gold Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Found his way out of the side there and was snapped up by Freo.
Was basically like in the best 10 players in the competition in his first half of the year at Freo, right?
Absolutely. He played every game in 2022.
Brownlow votes.
Yeah, and they played the finals campaign that year.
Yeah.
I went back and had a look. He had a quiet finals campaign, and then the next year played a couple of games at the start of 2023. And Will Brody hasn't played for Fremantle since round 7, 2023. Since then, Fremantle's played 59 games, and he hasn't played any part of it. But in that 2022 year, the midfield coach at the Fremantle Dockers was Josh Carr, who was about to take the reins in a full-time capacity at Port Adelaide. So Carr has his eyes on Brody and sees him as great midfield depth. I think there's a good chance that Will Brody could end up at Port Adelaide. They're having a look at a few others in the off-season, but he is well and truly on the whiteboard down there at Alberton. And Sam, he's actually 27 in a couple of weeks, which has crept up on me. I would have thought Will Brody was perennially 24. That's how quickly we've sort of forgotten about him being in the AFL landscape. But Freo have played 59 games since his last AFL game. He was emergency on the weekend, but he's on the Port Adelaide discussion board right now to potentially bring him in at the end of this year. Freo haven't played him. He's contracted for one more year at the Dockers. I can't see a world where they'd stand in his way and hold him to that deal, given they haven't played him. So that would be a free passage if it does eventuate.
Question for our tradies community out there. As you're going for your drive or your walk or whatever you do when you listen to tradies, has there ever been a player like Will Brody who has been very quiet and then suddenly burst onto the scene for half a year and then gone quiet again? So never polled a Brownlow vote at Gold Coast. And then that first half of, what year is it, 23? 22, sorry. Thank you, Link.
Link would have been there. I reckon you would have been a diehard Docker in 22.
He polls 11 Brownlow votes, 10 of which comes in the first 16 weeks, and then never polls another one.
Yeah.
And has been playing waffle for a year and a half.
I reckon he had 37 against GWS earlier on in the year. Off the top of my head, 3 Brownlow votes.
Bang on. Round 4, 2022.
That's weird enough knowledge from Link.
Link's taking the reins of tradies and he's bringing some enough Freo knowledge, which I'm big on because they're going to have a say in September, I reckon.
Will Brody was not a name that I thought was going to be on any of our whiteboards.
I was surprised when I did some work on this that he's still he's got a year to run on his deal at Freo.
Will Brody, welcome to you.
You know, I like my obscure players.
He's a real Mitch's man.
Just on that, just an interesting side note to the weekend to get your thoughts on this. I know you're not on socials, but Port played in Geelong on Sunday.
Did they? I still can't work out if they actually
Sorry.
played. I know that there was a game, but I'm not actually positive they played.
The team flew on Saturday.
Was it a 7 game?
Yes, it was.
You'd be flat.
The Jezza race.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm sure people were piling in. Yeah. They flew in Saturday.
On the same flight as Hawthorn.
Okay.
Ken was on the flight, but Ken wasn't. Ken flew earlier. Zach Butters was at his family's Darley property on Friday. So he was allowed
early.
To fly early, which just paints this picture around how much time he loves to spend in Victoria. What are your thoughts on that?
What do you mean? What are my thoughts? You're the one that says they won't trade him this year. I think they might.
I don't see how they can trade him this year when they're going to get the same value in a better draft next. Like it's on a strong draft this year. So why would you trade him this year?
But you don't keep someone that doesn't want to be there.
I don't think Zach's that sort of guy that's going to be demonstrative and turn the footy club up. He's a vice captain.
All right.
So let's say he did come and ask for a trade this year.
The only way I'm staying at Port if I'm Zach Butters is if Wanganeen Miller is coming. Otherwise,
there's a chance it happens.
I'm getting out of there.
But he's got a contract, Sam.
Yes, I understand that, but contracts can be broken, Mitch.
But so he asked for a trade this year, end of 25, and they say, "Nah, you got a year to run. You're a free agent next year."
Well, it's awkward for the club. They got an unhappy player.
But is he? I don't get the feeling that he's the sort of guy that's going to walk in there and make life difficult for his teammates and himself for 12 months.
Okay, all right.
Or do you think that
I don't know him well enough to know what his personality is.
He's the vice captain of the footy club.
Yep.
And this is probably a smart play by Port, allowing him time back in Victoria to allow him to tick that box.
So did he drive himself from Darley to Geelong? What's the drive from Darley to Geelong?
I did. It's about 50 minutes.
Oh, it's not that because it's
It's closer to the Whitten Oval. I've been on the Google Maps looking at this.
Is this how you spend your days?
Yeah.
Can we just circle back to the Draper story only because of the coach personally reaching out? So we've seen Sam Mitchell got caught red-handed with Oscar Allen at the start of the year.
Yep.
We've had Nix now.
Yep.
And then only a week before that, we had McRae and Voss getting in an argument over whether they should talk about Silvani. So for those who haven't heard it, this is how it played out.
Jack Silvani?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I'm confident to say that we'll keep exploring what the best version of us looks like, and when there's free agents available, we'll keep exploring those things. Met with a young man and worked out we had a first date and see if we liked each other.
Did you like it, Dylan?
Yeah, I could go on a second date with Jack.
I guess where I sit very much is respecting the privacy of the player. I guess it's not for me to announce something like that on behalf of someone, because they're the ones that have got to walk back into the locker room. It's unusual for a coach to announce something like that. And like I said, regardless of what Craig did, it's not something we would do, and we'll respect the privacy of the player and we move on.
Your take?
The most fascinating part for me is that Voss and McRae are good mates. So if that is the level that Michael Voss is getting to publicly, what's he like off camera? And what would have happened if he wasn't as close of mates with McRae? Let's say it was a Ken Hinkley. Oh, sorry, that's a random one because he's mates with Ken
good
Hinkley.
friends, yeah. Sam Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yep. So how'd you score that? Who do you agree with?
As the journo in me, love the fact that McRae admitted it. But if I'm in clubland, I'm more the Voss side. I can understand where Michael's coming from.
Yeah. I think it's...
There's ways around that question if you're McRae. I absolutely love that he answered it. But how often do we hear, I'm not here to talk about a player who's under contract at another club?
Yeah. The thing about Collingwood, though, under McRae is that they are unapologetically, unashamedly authentic. This is who we are. We're here to win. If we don't win, we'll keep trying until we do.
Mm-hmm.
Prelim first year, won a flag.
How about if I ask you this? Did Craig McRae's comments make life easier for a player they're targeting in the next month? So Jack Silvani's got to walk back in and do his rehab at Carlton for the next month.
I think we overplay that stuff. I don't think that matters.
Yeah, go.
But Michael Voss seems to think that it does, and he would know. And then you've got Carlton, who are really struggling for identity. They don't really stand for anything as a team or a club, and they're saying they've got their coach saying, "Well, it's not something we would do." Well, given the history of both teams over the last few years, maybe it's something you should look at doing. I don't know. That's where the cynic in me went. One is very much saying we don't care. We're here to win and compete. And the other one is saying, well, we do care about the optics. We care about being respectful. Sometimes I just think footy clubs put the cart before the horse. They're there to win games.
They're too nice.
Well, and I must say, I did look at it through the lens of when I watched Michael Voss play and him as a captain, he was one of the most ruthless players and leaders I can ever remember. Like when I think about ruthless captains, I think about him, I think about Buckley, I think about Lloyd, guys that just put winning before anything and everything. And yet for whatever reason, it seems like that has changed as a coach. Anyway, maybe I'm overthinking it, but it was a really interesting discussion point.
And what about Clarko weighing in? So he's like, hey, what about me? What about me? This is Clarko speaking on the Thursday or Friday after that discussion between Michael Voss and Craig McRae.
Last year, someone asked me a question, ironically enough, about Todd's son, Jack Viney, and ironically enough, Luke Parker ended up coming to the footy club, and I was just as open as honest as Fly was earlier this week in talking to Jack Silvani, and I got absolutely smashed last week for mentioning that we'd even spoken to a player. So we're better off just shutting up, really, because all clubs are speaking to a whole number of players that are either in contract or out of contract. Our strategy has mainly been just bite your tongue and say nothing.
There is a difference. So Viney and Parker were both contracted at their footy clubs.
Yeah.
Sorry, had years in the future to run, whereas Jack Silvani is a free agent. So there's a bit of a difference.
Yeah.
But I do sort of get where Clarko's coming from.
Yeah, it's not the worst point.
It's funny though when these coaches say, "Oh, I got smashed," but then on the other hand they say, "Oh, the outside media noise is just noise." So like it all does seep through. Just on that, so I understand North are in the chase for Jack Silvani. They've had a ping at the stumps.
I'm sorry. You'll have to repeat that.
North have asked the question of Jack Silvani.
Oh, well, that's it then. Glasses down.
Oh, Sam.
He's going to be a North player. That's it.
He's the need for them.
When
He's exactly
North
what they need.
enter the race for players, that's it. Oh, well, Jack Silvani at North. Well, I didn't think I'd be saying that, but here we are.
I don't think it's going to happen. I expect he'll meet with the Dogs as soon as this week.
Ooh. So he's gone on a date with Bevo.
A date with Bevo.
He's playing the field.
Yep. Who knows? As you mentioned on the show a few weeks ago, could open the door for others.
Well, Sydney will have to have a crack, wouldn't they?
Yeah?
Sydney need a key defender ASAP.
Yep. Just back to coaches approaching players and that sort of thing. So I heard you on Classified last night talking about, Matthew Nicks, and you said Footy Classified put it to Matthew Nicks and he declined to comment.
Yes.
So typically I would think would have been you putting the question to Matthew, like reading between the lines.
I did cold call Matthew Nicks, yes.
Did he answer of the view that he had your number in his phone?
Mm-mm. It was hello, Matthew speaking.
I've always wondered, like, do they think it's just like an insurance guy ringing, or do they think it's just like it could be anyone?
I didn't expect you to answer. Yeah.
As part of that phone call, because you've been strong on the fact that they won't win a final this year, did you?
When have I ever said that?
Multiple times in this show.
No. I don't think I've said that.
Yeah, we'll dig it up. Someone found the Naz stuff, so I'll get sent the Crow stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a cooling from you that the Crows are a chance this year to contend on that phone call, or was it just pure straight down the line on Draper?
Straight to business.
Yeah.
There's no
Matthew, you're having a great year. Love what you're doing.
No, that's inauthentic. When you cold call someone, you can't start brown nosing.
Just thought you might have had a backflip on the Crows.
When was the last time I backflipped?
What, A graders?
When? No, that's simply coming around to reality. I don't think Adelaide will win the premiership, by the way.
Will they win a final?
Well, they're going to finish top 2 now, aren't they? If they
They've
finish,
got to beat the Pies.
if they finish top 2, they will be difficult to beat at the Adelaide Oval, but they are a different proposition away from home.
Yeah. You've been big on that.
And you have to be able to win away from home when you're an interstate club in finals. Brisbane struggled for a while and eventually got there.
West Coast's priority pick pitch, or the pick for extra assistance. Where do you sit on this? Because initially I was, this club on a flag in 28. At the end of 29, they trade away multiple first-round picks for Tim Kelly. That was only 6 years ago. How can they actually be asking for a priority pick 6 years on? But the more I've sort of dug into this, they have been quite unlucky with McGovern retiring, Shepherd, Daniel Venables. Like they've copped a few.
They've got to you, haven't they?
No.
It's the same argument I've heard from 2 or 3 people in the last 2 weeks.
Have not had a phone call with anyone.
You've been briefed.
Have not had a phone call.
Don Pike's gotten to you. I knew it. I'd really hoped that you of all people wouldn't fold on this sort of stuff, but you've been West Coast briefed.
Have not had a single conversation with anyone at West Coast about this. This is me just doing my own research.
So you asked my thoughts on it. My thoughts are this. The AFL cannot and should not attempt to save clubs from themselves. It's too hard. There's too many moving parts, and you're sending the wrong message, which is ultimately be bad enough for as long as you want. We will come and bail you out. It is the antithesis of what equalisation is supposed to be, right? Because I just don't disagree. West Coast are a big, powerful club. They've got more money in the bank than most sporting organisations in the Southern Hemisphere.
I've heard that debate, but that doesn't necessarily help you with your list. You
It does if you want to pay the luxury tax, because you end up just paying.
Not with your
everyone
list.
Well, you pay, yeah. You
can't pay any. Your salary cap's the salary cap.
I understand that, but you can pay more in your development department. You can pay more in assistant coaches.
Which I'm stunned clubs don't do more of.
So am I. West Coast played in a grand final and won one in 2018. It's not that long ago. They have made a myriad of poor decisions since then. They've shot themselves in the foot multiple times. They took the wrong bloke in the draft in Harley Reid.
He's been okay.
And they took the wrong bloke in the draft in Harley Reid.
He's played pretty well.
And now they're, a little bit like Oliver Twist, turning around with the bowl, asking the AFL for some more. And the AFL are going to give it to them. So no, they shouldn't get a priority pick.
I'll just say
they're going to manipulate the system to give them pick 2 with Oscar Allen.
If they somehow get pick 2 with Oscar Allen, no priority. No, sir. But if Oscar Allen and the deal, which I think Brisbane should be putting to Oscar Allen, spits out at end of first round, then maybe they deserve an extra couple of list spots or something. I don't think it should be a top 5 pick like Gold Coast got. Sam's got the deal or no deal, hands crossed.
I used to love that show. No, it's a strong no from me.
Yeah, I'm probably
no more extra support.
I'm probably still in the no camp, but I can understand the reason they're asking, because they've copped the raw end with a few.
They've copped the raw end with a few. Goodness gracious me. It sends the wrong message. So just to finish off on this conversation, if Greg Swan held a press conference tomorrow and came out and said, "Look, we've reviewed West Coast's offer
submission,
thank you, for a priority pick, and whilst we hope that they get better soon, we're not going to be offering them any further assistance. Furthermore, under my
I love a furthermore
under my reign as football boss at the AFL, there will be no extra assistance packages in any form granted at any time. So don't ask."
Objection.
What do you reckon clubs would start doing with the way they build lists? They'd sit there and go, "Shit, we better be a little bit more careful here because Swanee said no extra support." But at the moment, Mitch, it's just fucking do whatever you want. What? 8 years for that? Yeah, that's fine. We'll be bailed out if it all fucks up. That's what'll happen.
Is it in Greg Swan's remit though? Like, isn't it? That's
probably more of
this
a Tom
gets to
Harley's
commission
issue,
level.
Yeah, but I know the AFL claim they have all these processes and whatnot. But
Well,
ultimately, the AFL is answerable to no one, so they do whatever they want, and they should. It's their league.
Yeah. Yep. Just a bit micro here, but
Love when you go micro.
so Essendon have picked up 4 players in the mid-season draft.
That's it. I'm out.
They've
Link, you take over.
no. It means they've got 4 extra list calls to make. So clubs always complain about how hard it is to delist players and work through it. They've got essentially 47 players on their list this year. They've got to work through to cut it back, plus the players they're trying to bring in. They could end up having North Melbourne style numbers from a few years ago in terms of list. Remember 11 or 12 they had ended up having the listings. It's just I think that's something that's going to be interesting to watch over the next 3 weeks as Essendon wrap up their season. And the extra list decisions they're going to make, because of those guys they brought in mid-season, they've shown enough that they might want to keep them around.
Speaking of Essendon and North, how's your man Ben Mackay gone?
Well, he's been injured the last couple of weeks.
What's his injury? Foot.
He's got a foot injury, I think.
When's he back?
I think he's done for the year, if not
Is he?
touch and go to
He's
replace.
been out for a long time.
Yeah, that's what happens with injuries. Sometimes they.
I see. The Dr. Cleary reporting for duty.
What are you getting at?
Hasn't been a good move for the Bombers.
I maintain that if Ridley, Mackay, and Reid play together, they will be a good side. They've played 5 full games together, and they're 4-1 in those 5 games. And
Yeah,
those
but if
guys
I drove a Ferrari, I'd be a lot happier. But sort of ifs and buts, what are we talking about
My
here?
point is, they brought these guys in to be a core key defensive back 3, and they haven't been able to get it going because of injuries.
I see. Hasn't been a good move.
They're probably the most injury-prone 3 tall defenders in the comp, and they're all on the same list. Elijah Sardis, your man,
My man.
is looking for a new home, so he's contracted for next year. But
Shock horror.
I believe they've got my calculations. They've got 16 out of contracts. Just on that, Carlton. So Harry O'Farrell goes down with his ACL.
That was very sad.
Yeah.
'Cause he'd been sort of a shining light in a dark time for the footy club, and he was the pick they got for Matt Kennedy.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of Carlton people were like, yes, we understand Kennedy's going really well for the Dogs. Can we just wait till we see this young man play? And he looked really good. So
if Silvani's out the door,
yeah,
the hope was Wiedering, Harry O'Farrell, Harry Dean,
yeah,
who's seen as a top 10 pick in this year's draft,
centre back. They love
would
him.
be their sort of 3 to work around. Now that
Isn't that so Carlton to just rely on 2 kids, one of whom has never even entered an AFL club? It's
a bit of Nick Haynes.
I'm
bit of
agreeing
McGovern.
with you. I'm just saying it's very Carlton. Like when they started struggling at the start of the year, it's, geez, we really miss Jagger Smith. We haven't played a game. What are you talking about?
Carlton's not said that, but that was the thought in time. Anyway. But the flow-on effect here, so do Carlton increase their offer for Silvani, the fact that O'Farrell's out for 12 more months?
Don't think it's going to matter, but yep, maybe.
Yeah, so to Carlton say, all right, in the 4-year deal we've put to you, 2026, here's another 150 grand because we need you more,
Wouldn't it be great if one of our employees came to us, Mitch, and said that?
The other thing is here, Mitch McGovern is 2 games off hitting a trigger for a contract for next year, and there's 3 games left this season. And he's touch and go this week with a hammy.
Oh, boy.
So that is one to watch.
That's good microing from you.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Nick Haynes is still out of contract.
He's been up and down.
He's
His best has been pretty
probably
good.
going to be top 10 in the BNF this year.
Yeah, that's not saying.
No, I know,
heaps.
but in terms of in the realm of Carlton, it's enough to win another contract, you would think.
Sam Walsh has played like 4 games. He might finish in their top 10.
And Brody Kemp is unsigned.
Where's Kemp been?
Achilles.
Oh, that's right. Forget about Kemp.
Yeah, I think he did a gather round. So there's just a few moving parts there. Plus, this is not key back, but Jesse Motlop's still out of contract. They had big hopes for him. That was part of the
He was
reason
good in the first half on the weekend.
Part of the reason they let Owies go last year was thinking we've got guys like Motlop coming through. That's why
I don't think they miss Owies.
No, but
For me.
he still kicked a lot of goals last year.
Yeah.
Weren't you be on him last year?
No.
Maybe I'm getting that mixed up
No.
with someone else.
Wasn't me.
Anyway, it's slow going with him. So Essendon and Carlton have a few interesting list calls to make.
change tack just for a moment here.
Because I want to get Micah after this.
Okay. So I had a few messages come through. Apparently, I looked it up. This is 1:45 this morning when I was on the couch. A few Tradies listeners said that there'd been some top 100 movie lists
Yes.
come out
I
in
didn't
the
see
last.
that. I think, was it the New York Post
Well, I looked last night. There's been a few.
or New York Times?
Rolling Stone magazine did one. News.com did one. I think the Post did.
Was it been 100 years since movies were invented?
Well,
or
it's the
something?
top 100 movies since the turn of the millennium. So it was like July 1, 2025, so halfway through 2025. They've gone with
yep.
quarter of a century. Anyway, there were some requests that I just quickly did a top 10. So I'm not going to run through the movies. You can maybe tell me how many of them you've seen. But it's from 10 to 1. This is my...
So something
Best-
that no
best
one
10
really
mov-
asked for, but you're going to do anyway?
No, I had some
Okay,
requests. Wow.
I'm just going to make a few cold calls. For
At
next
number
time.
10, Good Will Hunting. At number 9, Social Network. Number 8, Jurassic Park. Number 7, Get Out. Number 6, Anton Fuqua's Masterspace Training Day. Number 5, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. I've talked about that movie here. Number 4, The Departed. Number 3, Jaws. Number 2, No Country for Old Men. And the best movie of all time is David Fincher's Seven, which is about the 7 deadly sins. Kevin Spacey, Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman. That's it.
I've seen 6 of them.
You've seen 6?
Yep.
So you would have seen Good Will Hunting,
Yep.
Social Network,
Yep.
Jurassic Park.
Yes.
You would have seen The Departed.
Yes.
You would have seen Jaws.
Yes.
Oh, what's the 6th one you've seen? No
Yeah,
Country.
Yeah. There was a
Six for 6.
Year 12 media studies project. Quite enjoyed No Country for Old Men.
Very, very good. A book that turned into a movie.
Just the movie for me.
The book's a hard read.
Okay.
Good, but difficult. That's my top 10.
So Logan Morris kicked 6 on the weekend, ripped Collingwood apart. What?
And we're out of movies and back to Logan Morris. I was at the G on Saturday.
If you want to do your own breakaway movie pod,
Trust me, I have been considering it
are you still trying to get that up
for months.
with doing it with a player a week, going through a movie with a current AFL player? Is that still on the radar?
I don't know.
Or is Dill sort of not giving that any more love?
No, it's everything's a work in progress.
Right.
But my shoulders are sore from carrying this for so long.
Plenty of life lessons on this show today. Everything's a work in progress. I never backflip. I always just come around to reality.
That's right. That's right. You don't backflip. You just change your mind based on new facts emerging.
So,
Is James Worpel interested in going to Tradies?
oh yeah, let's talk about that actually.
I can't believe this. But I read in the Herald Sun that he was staying at Hawthorn. I read that.
I'm not having any part of this.
Gracious me.
Where's he going to be playing next year?
Geelong. How many times? How many times have I said this? How many times have I said this?
Has he picked out his number yet?
And I know that this stuff gets back to James as well. I know that he and his friends listen.
Oh.
And so there's been some tension. But I know he's playing for Geelong next year.
Are
It's
his
okay.
footy friends or his Geelong friends?
No comment.
Okay. How will he fit
And the
at
same
Geelong?
friends get annoyed every time I say that Butters is going to Hawthorn.
How will he fit at Geelong?
Well, you tell me. You're Mr. Cattery.
Yeah, they're probably missing 1 or 2 mids.
Clearly.
It's fascinating he was sub on the weekend
Yeah.
in a game that Hawthorn needed to win
Yep.
without, well, Will Day was back in there, but no Mackenzie.
Yeah, well, I think Day being back pushed him out.
Yeah.
They don't see him as part of their long-term future, and that's why the offer wasn't great, and that's why he'll go to Geelong. Anyway, you were talking about Logan Morris.
Kicked 6 on the weekends. And you know how big I am on players playing above their contract value. The genesis of this show should be, and always has been, the clubs that win the flag have the most players playing above their contract value. Brisbane did it last year. Geelong did it when, Stengel fired the year they won the flag, and all these players are, playing well above what they're actually worth. So each year, for the last couple of years, I've gone through and named my best value 22, now 23, in the competition. Logan Morris is the catalyst of this off the back of the weekend. He kicked 6. He's on a contract capped at $270,000. He's playing like a $1 million player. On the weekend, he looked like a $1.4 million player.
Unbelievable.
So from the back line,
Oh, you've done a whole 22.
I've done a whole 22.
This is just incredible
The
commitment.
best
from you.
value 22 in the AFL right now. Tom McCarthy, West Coast, comes in a mid-season pick. I'm not sure how much you've seen of the Eagles, but he's looked more than capable at AFL level.
Yep.
He's a 50 grand player right now, playing a lot more than that, playing well above that.
West Coast defender gets in. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
he's had plenty to inside 50s to defend.
Yep.
Plenty of ball from Tom McCarthy,
Why
who was
mention
playing for Hyatt only 2 years ago. Your man Mark Keane at full back for the Crows.
Love Mark Kane.
Top 3 in the comp for intercept possessions. They ripped up his contract last year, but I think it would be still unders on what he's performing at right now. Ryan Lester, the other back pocket. He's a walk-up start. As long as Ryan Lester is in the competition, he will be in this team. He's been in it the last couple of years. He's the other back pocket. Half back line, Nazaya Wangane Milera. His next contract will be write your own check stuff. But this one, not so much. So he signed in April 2023, this current deal that he's on. I reckon it'd be in the ballpark of 500 grand a year.
Jeez. Cheap.
Centre half back, Josh Worrell, most intercept possessions in the comp. He signed last year, but this was before, he kicked on like he has.
Good player.
Playing well above what he'd be doing. Jasper Fletcher, the other half-back flank. Year 3, so he's off his initial draft contract, but I reckon he's one of the better halfbacks in the comp and he's playing well above what he'd be worth. Centre line, Ollie Dempsey. He still hasn't started that good contract yet, which he signed this year, which goes till 2029. His current deal, Ollie Dempsey, was signed in May 2023. At that point, he'd played 6 AFL games. He was still on the rookie list.
Smart footy from Geelong.
2024-2025 deal. His base would be lucky to be 300, I reckon.
Wow. That's good. Wow. Yep.
Centre is Ned Long. Now, he's dropped off a bit in the last couple of weeks.
He has.
Touch and go to keep his spot. But on the form of the entirety of the year, he deserves in this team.
Yep.
The fact he's keeping Tom Mitchell out, he's still on a rookie contract. The other wing, Dan Curtin, year 2, much like Logan Morris, he's capped on that contract. I think he's been pretty good for the Crows this year. Half forward line, Ben Long. Centre half forward, Patrick Voss for the Fremantle Footy Club. The other half forward line is Ben Keys. Full forward line, Logan Morris, as I explained. Jack Gunson, he's kicked 40 goals this year. He'd be on chips at the Hawks, really, in terms of bringing him back. He wanted to come back. They facilitated it. He got another year for 2025. I reckon he'd be on a pretty low contract. The other forward pocket, Riley West. Rucks, Reece Stanley is the cheapest number 1 ruck in the comp. Jordan Dawson, I reckon his current deal is in the 700s, maybe pushing low 800s.
That's amazing. One of
And
the best players. He's top 10, maybe even top 6.
Yeah. And the rover is Ed Richards. And the bench is 4 players still on their initial draft contract. So Sean Manor, Lawson Humphreys, Joel Frazier, and Levi Ashcroft. And the sub I've named as Murphy Reid, given he's a first-year player.
He's
impact
named
player.
as sub.
Yeah.
Oh, how good.
So there'll be players I've missed and players that Tradies fans want to push for their team. So hit us up at Tradies Podcast.
So micro from
Who have
you.
we missed?
So micro.
But I reckon that team would contend with the best of them this year.
Yeah, that's a great team. Yep.
And it would be playing on probably a third of what an AFL salary cap would be able to produce.
List managers must just froth when you go micro. They must.
They do find a way to get feedback to me.
Do they? Because it's funny, I don't get much feedback. It's harder to get to me. Very good. Very good. Anything that you'd like to get to before we do the Tradies
The
tease?
Tradies tease. I haven't got one this week. Have you got one?
Oh, don't worry. I've got one.
So this will be your 4th. I've only contributed 1 so far.
What was your one?
Mine was the premiership defender who's been fielding calls from a bottom 4 team.
Premiership defender who's been fielding. Oh, yeah, you did. I didn't work out who that was. Link, did you work out who it was? Well, speak.
He told me.
Oh, okay. Don't say that. You're not supposed.
My guess was wrong.
You're not supposed to tell people.
I can trust Link.
You're not.
You not so much.
You're not supposed to tell people. Do you understand that?
Link I can trust. It's part of the Tradies family.
So the Tradies tease this week for Lexus at Blackburn. So Mitchell, we talked at the start about Matthew Nix reaching out via phone call to a player who is thinking about his future. Tradies tease as question: which friend has reached out to a different player considering his future to lure him over to where he is playing?
Okay. Are we talking contender, top 8 team,
No clues.
interstate, out of Victoria?
No clues. So that's the Tradies tease. Thanks to Lexus at Blackburn. And as we have been going to air this morning, some significant news in that Simon Goodwin has been removed as Melbourne coach. It's in the Herald Sun. It's on the Age. Both papers have had it confirmed. That is news that neither of us were expecting.
I thought it might got to the end of the year, but off the back of a win on the weekend, he's gone.
Anyway, we both have to get moving as a result of that, and you need to get down there. So we'll wrap this up, and we'll see you next week. That's Tradies. Thanks to the great people at St Andrews Beach Brewery. Carla and Tim, if you're listening, I need my regular table on Thursday. Mitch won't be there because he'll be working.